Welcome back to Mama's Best Out. On last week's episode, we had this beautiful conversation with Dr. Eunice Oppon from the UK, University of Exeter. She took us through her early stages of life, education, and how Ghana happened. And then she japa, and why she japa. So today you are going to continue our conversation. Welcome back, Doctor.
Thank you so much.
So you get offended when someone does not address you with
by
the title?
doctor?
Yes.
Not really. In the setting where I am, it's fine. Students can. However, there's a professional sense when I expect that.
Yeah.
And I do correct
professionally,
that.
someone.
Yes.
Means
yeah. So for instance, cause myself, minimum bina, I'll be like, dear doctor, this. Then the person sort of gives you permission to call them first name.
Yeah.
By the way they sign off on the email. So yes, there's still a way you can call somebody by first name but my Ghana had their doctor name. I don't drop it. There are no two ways, but there I can,
Right. So back to our conversation. After PhD.
The PhD.
What was the journey easy? Yeah. The research. Because research in the school but I don't think so. PhD is research, or maybe before.
It's research-based work. Yes. So in the first year, you are going to do what we call confirmation review. But the first year, you are coming out with your proposal, what you actually want to do. So and you have to defend it. If you are not able to, they don't let you move on.
In Ghana, had the thesis na my
and not there. A better day, and I'll tell you why. Because you have to defend it. For example, I had 2+ hours of my viva, which is defending the thesis. If it was just the actual then you could get away, but to defend a written work, then it becomes an issue.
Yeah.
And so I wouldn't say there is that. Maybe people can get away with coursework during that master's period to say somebody writing it because you don't have to defend it.
Yeah.
But with a thesis, you have to. And it's a great skill to have anyway.
To be able to put and publish
and publish. In UK, most universities, there's no expectation to have published the work. In some European universities, you have to. What's our publish it?
I've seen that.
Yeah.
I've seen with some schools when you're applying for a PhD, they will ask you the number of papers that you have published. What do they expect? Definitely, a master student
to have published. No, it's the simple answer. But sometimes the program would say it's a desired thing to have, and yet essential, but it's desired. And when 2 candidates come, not the or more essentials. You must have had a master's, not or desired one, which is what publishing. Probably, because we want publications into opedi or what we may publish. But I wouldn't say, just to clarify, say you must have published before you get it.
So let's say I want to have that merit over someone I'm applying with. So how can I publish? Because is it the thesis that we write when you're completing out? If you publish the thesis you wrote during your master's, do you have it published?
Exactly. So that's a good one. When I did my master's, I actually tried to synthesize it into publication. During my PhD interview. Until I published my first publication, my PhD, my master's.
Okay.
Which really helped.
Okay.
Until the advice is, if you finished your master's, you can take part of it and publish
the project work, the
project work in Ankasa.
The one we do, maybe it's not published.
Yes, but you can have it published, Ankasa, or take because most of the time rights belong to invest in our way, But you can take part of it and then you better publish a literature review, on its own.
Yeah.
And that's it's a great aid.
So some way somehow we'll have some.
Yeah,
how we can publish, and then apply for a PhD. Interesting. Thank you so much. This is eye-opening. So sometimes when you're applying for a PhD, then they ask you for a published.
It's a desired thing. But what I would say is for a Jumade, is really good. That is who will PhD. You stand out, so what publish here. Yeah. Intermediate boy, I mean, say I had publications and sana I landed the job at the University of Exeter.
Okay.
And the University of Exeter is Russell Uni Group. It's difficult to get into. Russell University Group, for those that don't know, in the US we'll say Ivy League school, so Harvard.
Oh, really?
That, yeah.
Oh.
In the UK, we call them the Russell Uni. They're about 24. Into Cambridge,
and their school
Oxford.
Is one of them.
Yes.
You
and it's
lecture
difficult
in one of those
Russell universities. And to get that, is highly competitive. But I had 3 publications. And it made it quite easy.
So if someone wants to questions in the door. The last time I put it on my platform that I'm going to interview you, saying for questions, no, so if someone wants to do masters, let's say, and I'm a Dr. Eunice, a senior lecturer at Exeter University, sister. Now with the application basis, so do to me pay masters, baby, information for the
I talk to a lot of Ghanaians. I think some whom were LinkedIn or something they send, and then I like to do that. They will talk to them, but I straight off the bat, no, I cannot guarantee anybody getting a master's. What I do is that make sure more how to. We need guidance, so be sure how to get to a place. What's that popular thing? Don't give a fish, teach somebody how to fish. It is that one. And so I tell them where to look for it. I can review your documents. Those things. That's important. The obi per se no your masters are. That's the pathway to that way. Knowing when the scholarship run, knowing the time it starts. Important.
But I want to mean GSC even
to me. But one of the things that happen is there's a form of, I won't say who you know, but it's more of introduction. The PhD I got it because I got to hear about it because and I do that. If we are project and we are trying to recruit into Obeka, so can you send it to students? We are doing so you're good. To apply. And that's how I got to baby. I'm a PhD. It wasn't even there. Someone was like, "Oh, Eunice, check this one out."
Okay.
My professor who I've worked with says that, no, it's really good. I will give a tip if you allow me. It's a time by year. Another thing you do is send an email. When you send your formal application, send what we call an informal inquiry to prospective. Now send the email. So I've seen this, professor this, I've seen that, and I'm looking to apply. I have a master's in
that
this.
Works because I've seen that as well. Because sometimes the university has some requirements. If you are able to get a supervisor, then you can enroll into a particular program. So sometimes you get into a PhD. So tell us about the path. I've seen that one. Get a supervisor. If your supervisor accepts you, then directly you are accepted into the program. Or I think in Germany they have an industrial something. If the company accepts you, then you get accepted into the program. So how many?
Also, educational. So there is that one, the industry PhD.
We've all wanted to school abroad. Let me just say it. But sometimes, as I said earlier, the disappointment. I've had 2 rejections for PhD, and then when I'm saying that, so and then I also realized that I didn't really like the research.
Permanent head damage.
No. We all have something that we are good at. So after exploring the PhD, even with the application, sometimes you have to have the thesis ready, the what you want, the research topic,
research proposal,
and then the proposal and all that. The proposal is even a problem for me. So how do I see myself being a whole PhD student? It's
and I think it's not for everybody. And having said that, so it's not to say somebody shouldn't pursue it, but I think that it's a path where it challenged me a lot. And I think me talking to my colleague here, face similar unique challenges. But like any other thing, whether a PhD, whether we start here or whatever, you need grit to actually go through that determination, and then that you must have an attitude that. Open course, so I'm trying to get a tree word for that.
Just like myself, I said, me PhD is not my thing. It's like me a research and or anyone who is watching in my shoes. You didn't like the masters, the research. Do you have people like that or meet me? Because sometimes you meet me a PhD there 10 years now we year.
And my main job African universities in Accra. But it can take that. But even in outside and so it's immediate because especially if you are doing a part-time. I funded that if maybe 4 years. If after the 4 years in main we are funded no way there's no more stipend coming.
Okay.
For every extra year, no, I have to pay writing fees a BB. And basically no, a bit more drag it for long. Because a PhD, the first header no is what supervisor thinks say thesis near ready. Okay, say near ready, it's just not. Now, COVID happened 2020. Until that was a tough. I didn't think I would finish within the 4 years. Anyway, no more my extension, but I still didn't go for it.
Oh, okay.
And I can tell you why because it's money buy. But yeah,
maybe it was your thing. It was your thing. Maybe it was your thing. Okay. So after the PhD, you have to defend.
Yes.
Whatever. So what did you write about?
So my field, or what would we say, research interest, environmental economics, trade, climate, sustainability, generally.
And PhD and come climate because I have seen and so funding. No.
Do you care about the climate or you care about the
funding?
Yeah. Yeah.
These days, the topics that you see with fans is usually about the environment and the climate and then those things. Why?
Yeah, because there's a lot of push on businesses being sustainable. Into almost to hear people with expertise and then all of that. Laws are changing. And they need people to really know what, even in industry PhD, it's because of the direction of economy in India. We want to move from the use of fossil fuels. Fossil fuels are, diesel, petrol,
which is degrading the environment.
Degrading the environment, and move to renewable ones, solar, hydrogen, cyanamide, and
research knows Galam said. Today I saw a video of Galamsey ongoing in the city. I think it was a Boas. No, it's not a Boas. I've forgotten the name. I don't want to be wrong. Earlier, Namache say, say no, if you know, because they are saying that there's gold everywhere. And Ghana had a quite the environment, and now today I just say, movie because it's bad
and it's such a problem. It show a paper and the paper was showing say a country like UK, any African countries trade you losing more because of your natural resources. Because the UK, I don't know what they are sending or no. It didn't cost so much water, so much land. But the produce it costs so much water and so much land. Into exchange, but exchange, and balanced. And the more we keep doing that, in a problem
So let's go to how you got into the lecturing. Is this something that you wanted to do? I don't know, I'm per company be more and share office.
I always want. I think I like talking. Naturally.
Yes, you do.
And I like talking into that was a natural for me. And then also the research part, something like finding out something and then putting it. Although academic writing, I must say, presentation and talking, I'm good with it.
Okay.
And anyway, I found myself in a field that I knew I could transition. To me, baby, to get a lecturer job, I knew, and this is an advice, say, where you are trying to go to, find somebody who's already there. Intimidate, I saw the people that were already there. And then I was like, okay, this is what they did. Into them kind publishing my master's thesis, being a co-author on other people papers. That means another 3 publications. Another thing was also me rename grant, even as a PhD final year. Into when you America CV
exactly.
Into me cut now me wow mo kakra. And so they like that. And that made it easy. I got a lot of rejection. That comes back to the American. Sadly, now you reject rejections.
Tell you from
at all.
Yeah.
At all.
Oh, interesting. But let me ask you this sensitive question. Teaching abroad.
Yeah.
You are black, oh?
Yeah, exactly. Baby, I'm also crowded. For those that know Exeter, it's less diverse.
Really?
In teachers, anytime I'm say University of Exeter, I'm so there's not a lot of blacks, which is true. And I'm on the campus, so Cornwall, you can, basically.
Has there been a time you felt so different? Ebi Kranka, you wish
not drawing. Surprisingly, not during academic setting, no. And they are with students. I haven't felt that way. I think, say, my name, say, maybe a bit. I haven't. They many the first black lecturer per se, except baby, I'm one of the nurse until I get that. Yeah, but what I did face and say, it was the first time maybe there's a shop Asda, me namho. Na mommy being in mad, they were looking at me. As a mum, mommy felt so embarrassed because he was trying to drag the kids. So let's go.
But they were still
I had never, and by this time I'd been in the UK 5+ years. And it was so odd. I was like, I don't want TV. And so that was that time. But what I do find, and let me jab the UK people, UK, unlike US, they're only very direct. UK, that what they call the British politeness, but now or custom, but so they have microaggressions. I had an issue with one of my supervisors. One day, baby, so on teacher I'm a that's David. David was under G, sexist and racist, in my opinion. And it comes from that thing, doesn't think, a black woman could be that. So I saw that. But thankfully, I'm a second supervisor. I was able to navigate it. Someone gave me an advice. If you have to pick your battles, you won't do a PhD forever. Nothing I'm in any struggle. Maybe and that's it. I don't remember the last time I'm in Hono. Until you have to. So there is that. I'm not gonna sit here and make it like there is a bit of microaggressions, under G kakra. Under G.
Interesting. Because I've always felt like lecturing abroad. So the students, they are actually nice, respectful. Anybody on here respectful, I would call You can walk some of them out of your class.
There were times I insisted and I would get out of
my class. Oh, you don't
because they can just get up and go.
Oh.
By get up and go, sorry, nothing. I'll ask permission. I don't need to. And that's how you bring attention. The person might have an issue.
Okay.
Until nothing will be permission, and I'm good with that. Okay. Most of your lectures were 1 hour.
Oh,
let's have 2 hours now, unless I want to run it. Yeah. Oh. Into me, very respectful. Any student that is in their email, I never do interaction back and forth. Make sure email my address. Yes, but it doesn't happen often. It doesn't happen often. Until end of the day, I like it. Okay. I like being in the institution.
So Eunice is saying she likes it.
Yes.
Yeah, she likes it. All right, this is a nice journey. I like from Scotland to PhD. So where did you do your PhD?
So the PhD, yes, that was University of Sheffield. Until from Scotland, I moved to England, and then I was in University of Sheffield. Until Hall was where I lived the longest doing the PhD, and it was good. It was a good time. Final year, and then it was stressful. I have to finish, and by that time, 2020, COVID had happened, and Oshefie trying to finish, it was a lot. It was a lot.
So with your age, I don't know if you want to mention your age.
Oh, I don't mind. I'm 36.
36, and you were done with your PhD at which age?
No, at 30, I was turning 32 by that time.
32,
yes.
So 32.
Yes.
80.
Yeah.
This question, but what do you answer? Okay, there's a perception, a preconception, or a prejudice about women who school, like who climb the highest education ladder.
Yes. Yep.
Are you married?
No, I'm not.
Why?
Because marriage is not something I may pursue. I pursue education like me. Worry. Right? I feel that with every other thing other than marriage, it depends on you. With marriage, it's 2 people. It would take me wanting to actually be with somebody. I'm not married, but I'm very much engaged with somebody.
Okay.
But the person between said during that time, no, of doing that, I knew that.
So no relationships throughout your
there were relationships
masters.
throughout the relationship.
So how come? Because we know that, we've heard that.
Yeah.
Women like you sit on shoulders and then book long, and then I know my rights.
I know my rights.
Don't you think that is a contributing factor to you?
I like it being a contributing factor.
So you're like that. So you are like that.
I like it being
you are like that.
Funny enough, I used to, okay, I don't know if it's saying, marry your books and give birth to success.
Is that what you're
doing? Me find who clients think I marry me books and give birth to success.
You took that one so serious. I don't know from primary to JHS,
yeah, exactly.
SHS.
Exactly.
Okay. So,
if you want, you're asking about relationship. Yes, over the time there's been relationship, but they were never my priority, because I don't think no had to come and then men said me. I'll give you an example. I think there was one person I was kind of involved with, or another country, and thought that me a PhD, I would just jump ship because and come
move
and be to baby I no one, and I'm like that's not happening. And for me it wasn't like I don't feel you've lost anything. My dad always talks about companionship. I like that word. So companionship was what I that's what I see, companionship. And then thankfully I do have that with who I am with now. But companionship in Hiame than said the title of marriage, right? And I have to say this: there's a stereotype about and I walk it is a stereotype. Example, make I say one person honestly academia anyway. I'll catch him say you didn't come and I say when you visitors no say bre or jollof or something no say and kawe hand kabe my Abraham say a permanent head damage. The fact that by default, or Jane say if we are together, I will be doing the cooking. Which is
that if we were together, you wouldn't be doing the cooking. And I say the fact that he's thinking,
gender roles, no. Now, me 11. No, my mom sent a newspaper advert on writing an essay, and the essay was gender inequality. Then you can maintain at that time. But I wrote on it. So that was the time, maybe 11, and I won in that category. So I got to know, say, when it comes to gender rules, so your band, and was so you say, no, it doesn't.
No, it's a no,
I'm here today, a lecturer, senior lecturer in business analytics and sustainability. Without me mentioning my first name, so be citing me paper upon a pay or anytime or cited the paper. So I see these things, and yet
but why?
Now, do you remember that? Now you send your girls child to school. We are still making because I remember that song. So progress is we getting there, but then it's taking a long time.
Do you think that has affected your journey? Maybe because of how it is, the stereotype, and then how people see women in the academia or highest career path has also shaped your thoughts, and it's made you, for lack of a better word, what do you call it, buffer?
But metal, I say, I don't know
if you word
but whilst you are looking for it, I can admit that if I look at 24-year-old Eunice, 25-year-old Eunice, or you're different from this one,
Eunice,
because at that time there's not much you're doing compared to no. And yes, worry at the age, an early age, obey me again. But by the time we're 30, it makes you a bit and yes, you have your guard up. You can't compare it to be Eunice Nancy. Into I know the true a man, yeah, because life experiences are better from others. And we are more careful than relationship and our invest here and I'm worrying. Yes, frankly, and it plays a role.
I know you have a partner, but share with us with your level of education and how you think or what you think about gender equality and all those roles.
Yeah.
What are you looking for in a relationship, in companionship?
in companionship.
What do you look for?
I'm looking for reciprocity. Say somebody I may give you grace, the person gives grace. So not looking at each other through gender roles, but yet me complementing each other. Into the things we do for each other doesn't come from we say or so we say. Exactly. So
but and your master, I think you say master roles. I don't know, but the relationship that I am in, we don't do that.
Exactly.
So if you get someone who is
get someone baby, Miss Lenyo abuses.
So if you get someone because you are in a relationship, so do you where do you see this relationship going? Do you think the relationship is going to end in marriage, or you like the companionship? Oh yeah, Panama also. And I said
with this one, yes,
because you termed it as companionship.
Because that's the word that captures.
That is what you are looking for.
That's what I'm looking for.
So you think marriage does not keep companionship?
Not in the broad sense when that is being described by religious institutions. Into maka. Into a master servant, lead me some to
oh my goodness.
And wait, that would take another episode.
Do you know why? Do you know why? Because you don't live here.
Exactly.
Let me tell you, 36, a doctor, and you're not married. Masanki, actually be a man
but that is
Pentecost. Sorry,
I'm telling you, Pentecost and I'm a call.
Oh really? In our setting, but it's bad. I have friends same age who are not married, who do not have children, and sometimes I feel so bad about the insensitive comments. It's so insensitive. Hey, so there was a time someone asked me. I have a friend. She's very beautiful, everything on point. Hey, like,
thankfully, as you said, it's true. I am insulated from some of these comments because I'm fan of me.
Yes.
And also, I recognize the privilege I'm a worker. Me say no, me bana me a projector. I'm doing it with big professors here. No one is asking about my marital status because so many are just what they grant about. So it's like see no evil, hear no evil. But if I was here and maybe my master's PhD and everything,
maybe so.
Not do you get? And I see it. You know, because hey, Dr. Eunice have come. We are.
You see, so you get the vibe. If you are a woman, just upgrade yourself because there's an extent to which you get at questions be or honor. Though we have some no matter who you are, be a vice president and question still our baby cell. But I think you've done so well. I love your journey. I love women. This is one of the why the reasons why Mama is best out is here to talk about women who have climbed the ladder against all odds. Okay, being a lecturer abroad and all that, it's not easy. So you've done so, and I'm really proud of you. And see, if you're watching us, it's not about TikTok, it's not about Facebook, it's not about twerking, it's not about twerking. I know the age now worry but at the point I'm telling you, it's not any question that it's me who near busa anyhow na when you make also. And then as Eunice said, she is looking for companionship. Onya the companionship. Ain't no. When you wait.
I have a partner.
When you're the partner, a typical Ghanaian. Talking from a typical.
Yes.
As a typical Ghanaian. Don't worry, she has a companion. Exactly. She has a companion. So she has a partner that wherever the relationship goes, there or no there, and no one knows him.
It's leading to marriage.
It's leading to a partnership leading to marriage. So if, regardless of your age, any pressure, if you baby, make sure you find someone you have connection with, not just anybody. Jack, a man be bread.
I know, dear.
Me dear,
yes, but
a man
and I want to. I know you're wrapping up to say that I think that you're doing a great work. Or Mama's best.
Thank you.
And I'm glad that you get to invite.
And I'm so happy.
Thank you.
You are telling us your story, and we'd like to see your companion.
All right.
The companionship is so important to her. So Mekania corrected me. So this is Dr. Eunice Oppon, a woman we are so proud of. I know your family is proud of you. I know Obia Onimubia is proud of you because you've worked so hard for whatever you've achieved. So consultation, if you want to come for consultation, if you want to do your master's, your PhD, Dr. Eunice is there. We'll put her email address and her other information on this episode. So if you want to reach out to her, you come through me, you charge your small fee. Then you go for consultation. Right. So Eunice, thank you so much for coming. I'm looking forward to the day we'll come for the wedding.
Yes.
And then we'll put it on Mama's best out. What yes, you said. They now by no companion. I yet marriage. Exactly. I'll say we are waiting for that time. Thank you so much for watching Mama's Best Out. This episode has been an interesting one. We spoke to Dr. Eunice Oppon from the UK about her journey through education, especially from KNUST Primary School to the United Kingdom. So thank you for coming. Mama's Best Out UK. Now what the Yakokom professors know, I want to see how they do all these things. So thank you so much for coming.
Thank you.
All right, thank you. We'll see you next week. Bye bye.
I believe my symptoms doesn't have to get in my way of life.
I believe that better care begins at home.
I believe my health care can be on my terms.
I believe in farm care, home care, door to door. Cheers.